Welcome to another exciting Kronos podcast. Myself Amith Shaju, and today we have with us Dr. Badari Narayana, who is Executive Director of Talent, Deloitte South Asia. In his career spanning 26 years, he has spearheaded HR transformations in various sectors, including information technology, business process outsourcing, and professional services. He also provides leadership development services in manufacturing and oil and gas sector, and his expertise lies in mergers and acquisition. Once again, welcome to Xplore, sir.
Thank you so much, Amith. Thank you so much.
How was your journey?
Journey was very good, and firstly, thanks so much for inviting us to this campus. I've always had a great experience working with your XLRI friends. I have quite a few team members in my team who are from XLRI, and I think you guys are very good with what you guys do in HR.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for inviting us.
Sir, I hope you're excited for tomorrow's conclave.
Oh yeah, I'm completely excited and energized, not at all tired. Was taken care of from door to door. I started at my door, was taken care of. Right now also the room is good, all well.
Nice. So let's begin, sir.
Yes, please.
So you started your career nearly a quarter years back as an HR manager in IT Nation. And right today, you are the Director of HR for Deloitte South Asia. So you have come a really long way. Looking back, what are the challenges and milestones that are memorable to you?
Oh, Amit, thank you so much. You take me down nostalgic memory lane. I hail from a town called Visakhapatnam. I don't know whether you youngsters even know where Visakhapatnam is. Visakhapatnam is a place in Andhra Pradesh. I grew up there. I did my education. I did my doctorate in human resources there. And I moved to Bombay purely by chance because one of my friends said, why don't you just come to Bombay? Somehow she felt, she's an HR person, somehow she felt that I suit the Bombay sort of a vibe and that I could gel well with Bombay. I don't know what made her think that. I took a suitcase, I took Konark Express and I landed in Bombay, and I went to her house. From the time that I stepped out into the station in Bombay, I was completely absorbed by the city. I do not know whether it's fate, destiny, call it whatever. Bombay has two things. Either it completely sucks you in or it throws you out in the first 1 month. I was completely sucked in and I started my journey with IT Nation. IT Nation was a company which provided a platform for IT products buyers and sellers to do online trading. It was a .com. The reason why I'm telling you is we were ahead of time those days, right? When IT Nation started, it was a startup. And we had to open 9 offices in India across. A small town boy from Visakhapatnam lands in Bombay, starts flying all over the place, and I would start interviewing people and I would feel like a king, people are lining up for interviews because those days .com was a big thing. And it was such an humbling experience opening 9 offices. And I spent about 4 years there. Got to do a lot of stuff. And the good part about the stint was I executed the whole cycle of HR. After starting IT Nation, we had to close down 4 offices or 5 offices after 4 years. It was so heart-wrenching to see people crying. The parents would come and say, we lost a job, my child lost his job. The .com has busted, nothing to do with the company. But then the whole life cycle is what I learned there. And from there on, there was no looking back. I moved on with that rich experience. I joined ABC Consultants, a premium executive search firm. And the world goes round, right? When I was in ABC Consultants, Deloitte was our client. Okay. And I served Deloitte as a consultant. And after that, I did a stint with WNS Global Services, which is India's first BPO. So I grew from strength to strength. And like any typical HR guy, I started with recruitment. I started growing and slowly understanding. And I was so lucky that everywhere that I joined, somebody would observe and say that, why don't you come with me? I've joined a new company and I started moving with them. And life has got me here. Now I'm in Deloitte, 14 years.
It's like, as you mentioned, every company wants you to join them.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
speaks a lot about you and your determination.
I was only lucky, man. I was only lucky. And I think one thing that the city taught me, Bombay, is to fall down 10 times and get up 10 times. Let me just tell you this episode. I was staying in a very small, dingy room in South Bombay where there were 4 beds and a small room. And I got friendly with one person who was sleeping on the next bed, and we were all staying together. He was working for one of the newspapers. I got so friendly to him, like he was more like a brother to me. And one fine day, I come back home to discover, I wake up in the morning to discover that my luggage is gone, my shoes are gone, everything is gone,
Oh my God.
right? And the gentleman who stole it was the so-called brother I thought was my brother, right? And after that, there was no police complaint, nothing. I had nothing to wear. I just went with my shoes to my managing director there in IT Nation and I said, Pawan, this is what has happened. He stood up and he said, welcome to Bombay. You know, that was that was
The
how
real welcome you
yeah,
got to
the real welcome happened. And things teach you, and I moved from strength to strength, and thank God I'm here in Deloitte.
Yes, actually going through your LinkedIn profile also, I got a testimony of your determination and willpower.
Oh.
Like there was a small anecdote which mentioned that you had actually reduced nearly 20 kgs based on just a comment, like a comment made on a lighter note.
Man, you did your research. Okay, go ahead, ask me.
So right now in today's corporate world, health is often put in the back burner,
Yeah.
like especially mental health and physical health. So in Deloitte, what are the initiatives being taken to, since you are such a health conscious person,
Yeah.
what are the initiatives being taken for the
So,
employees?
yeah, firstly, let me start with Deloitte. Okay, I'll tell you my journey later. I think the more interesting journey is Deloitte. Deloitte has attended the World Economic Forum, and it is one of the 100 companies in the world to sign a zero gap equity, health equity, zero health gap equity. So what does that mean? We as an organization are supposed to be inculcating that in our strategy, in our innovation, in the way we strategize, our budgeting, everything. There has to be importance given to health of our practitioners, both mental and physical, but this is more to do with physical health, right? As an organization, we are very, very careful, and it is there in the KRIs and the KPIs of the leaders also. Our well-being of the employees or teams that work with us, their mental well-being and their physical well-being is very, very important for us. And let me just tell you this, we give you 6 days of well-being leave. It could be to attend your dog's birthday. It could be to attend to your parents' health or whatever, no questions asked. Over and above all that, we have 6 days of well-being leave, and people really appreciate that. It comes handy when they want to attend birthdays or visit their aunts, uncles, whatever. And the other thing is that we have a chief happiness officer as a designation in Deloitte. I don't think many organizations have this. There's one lady called Saraswati Kasturi Rangan who's extremely passionate. She herself is a cancer survivor, and she really fought her way through, and she sets the tone at the top for mental well-being of the organization. Let me just tell you that recently I got my kit bag, which is a gym kit bag, which has all the things required for you to maintain your health. And I use that kit bag. It is Deloitte branded. I go to the gym every day with that gym bag. And I told my managing director, my CEO, Mr. Romal Shetty, and my boss, Deepthi Sagar, that, look, thank you for this bag. I'm going to use this bag and I'll go to the gym every day. Coming to my personal journey, I was a high diabetic. I was having almost like 8 tablets a day. My ex-boss, Nathan, who's XLRI, by the way, he's XLRI. So I was receiving an award from him, and he took me close to him and he punched me in the stomach and he said, what is this? I was really stout. I was like 89 kilos, 89 to 92 kilos. He said, what is this? That triggered a thought in me, and then I went on a keto diet and I lost weight, and now I'm a regular gymmer for the last 4 to 5 years. I consistently go to the gym. That also reflects the way Deloitte gives importance to well-being, right? If I do not set an example, this is how all the leaders look at health in Deloitte, right? If the leaders do not set an example, what will happen to the team? Is the sort of inculcation that is there in us, to answer your question.
Leading by
Long
example.
answer to a short question.
That's really nice. Like we normally go to the gym on New Year Day, first day
New
resolution.
Year's Day, yeah.
New Year's resolution, and then it's done. And
On the New Year's Day, the gym is full, right? If you
that.
go to the gym on the first day, I always tell people, if you go to the gym consistently for 21 days and still go on the 22nd day, you're there. Again, check yourself on the 90th day. A lot of people look at me and say, we also want to come to the gym. They come to the gym, but I think 2 or 3 people out of the 18 or 20 people that I know are continuing to gym like the way I do.
Nice to hear that. Sir.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring. So,
By the way, do you go to gym?
as I mentioned,
On the New Year's Eve? Okay.
no, I play shuttle and
Okay, good.
that's how I go. So, while researching your profile, another thing I saw was the frequent use of hash pick a book.
Yeah.
Like I noticed that you read a lot of books, and if you have to recommend a book to all the budding leaders of XLRI, then which one would you recommend?
Which book do I pick, man? Really, I love all those books. But let me just tell you this, okay? There's a book called The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. I would suggest every XLRite to read that book. It's a big book. Takes patience, but it gives you a complete glimpse into human nature, and we are all HR guys, right? We are tomorrow going to go to organizations to set the tone for HR. It's very important to understand people, why they behave the way they behave. What sort of biases do we carry? It holds a mirror in front of you on how are you supposed to look at other people. The other book I'll tell you, it's called The Diary of a CEO. It's written by Stephen Bartlett. Please read that book. It's a wonderful book. It gives you so many lessons of what leadership is about. Awesome. Like that, I can keep going, man. There's another book called Factfulness. It really breaks down what media teaches you every day about what's getting printed, and we believe what's getting printed. It busts a lot of myths about what we hear. What do you think about Ethiopia? The moment I tell you Ethiopia, what do you think?
Think of poverty. It's an African country with its civil war and all happening. So
Yeah.
that's how I.
Poor country.
Yeah.
It's no more. It tells you why it's not a poor country anymore. But still, it's imprinted in our heads, and that factfulness breaks down. It says that never look at statistics in isolation. That's what that book teaches you. Please read that.
Sure, sir.
Who wrote that book? Hans Rosling. Yeah.
Sure. I think that just adds up to a pile. MBA. So coming to HR, like post-COVID, the way we hire people have really changed. So there has been like more, rather than face-to-face interactions, it's been like at least the beginning rounds is through video. So this has also led to a lot of frauds. Like most companies are now aware that they are careful about the fraud part of it. So how is Deloitte addressing this challenge, ensuring transparency as well as ease?
To be very honest, Amit, during COVID, technology consulting really started skyrocketing because everybody was resorting to technology, how to take things off the plate and make it virtual. So during that time, there was a huge surge of hiring. People thought that hiring will crash. We went the opposite. Deloitte started hiring more during the COVID time, and we could not meet people. Everybody is on a video interview. And there is this particular region of India, I do not want to name that region, but we started getting a lot of candidates. They would join, they would do the interviews extremely well. The moment they started working, it was zero, it was zilch. Then we quickly realized that people are actually frauding the interviews. They're doing a lot of fraud in interviews, and it took a while for us to realize what was happening. After that, we started now deploying Gen AI on screening the people, and we are able to see who's a fraud candidate, who's not answering correctly, and we are able to get there. But I would not still say that we've done it very well. We're still in the journey. Yeah. So AI deployment is the way to go before, if you really want to do virtual interviews, because it's going to be really helpful. And it gives you indicators. And there are some AI tools which also make recommendations on the way the candidates have answered the questions. We're still getting there. There's a little journey to, but yes, deployment has started.
Speaking of AI and Gen AI, like how much do you think the future of HR is going to be shaped by these disruptive technologies?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Recently, I attended a conference on disruptive technologies. Okay. Let's take inclusion as an example. Okay. Inclusivity and inclusion, right? Gen AI and AI makes you actually, you can deploy those tools to realize any conscious biases that people have, right? How do we avoid those biases? You can deploy AI and say that, how do we avoid hiring biases? Deploy AI. The other thing is that how can we use AI to make the language gender neutral? You will realize that in most policies, it says he or she, you know, when he or she goes for a holiday and all that. So, in our job descriptions, everywhere, we are ensuring that there is no gender reference anywhere. And we're using AI in a lot, many ways to get this to the fore.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really a new insight for me. So, in your view, what is most pressing issues that are faced by HR today? And how are you addressing it actually?
Yeah. The pressing issue that we are faced by HR is that I think HR is at the cusp of two things. Everybody thinks that we have a seat at the table. We have a seat at the table. But then the real challenge is, how do we deal with the quick changes in technology that the workforce needs to get used to? How do we as an HR organization facilitate cross-skilling? How do I ensure that if I hire Amith, how do I ensure that he develops an adjacent skill, which is very, very important for us? All these things are challenges that HR people are facing today. I think first things first, HR folks themselves should be very adept at understanding these technologies. HR folks should be very, very smart at understanding what is exaggerated AI, what is real-time AI, how to choose the right tools. HR folks should be very good at working with the business in ensuring that they really understand the need for this sort of a cross-skilling. How do we bring collaboration within the teams? All these things is what HR leaders now struggling with. Add to this complication, we have a Gen Z which has come up now, and I think the alpha generation also is going to be joining the workforce very soon. I'm just putting it ahead of time, but I'm just saying Gen Z have a completely different expectation. On one side, we're grappling with technology, on one side, we're grappling with innovation, etc. And then comes this generation which wants to join an organization which has a strong social impact purpose. How do we make that happen? How do we ensure that our social impact internally is taken seriously so that they find value in it? These are a few things. I'm just naming a few.
Thanks. So, before we wrap up, I mean, you have shared so much insights that I think I should actually leave something for tomorrow's conclave. So, before we wrap up, what advice would you give to our audience to emulate your successful career journey?
Oh, I don't think mine is a career to emulate. Don't lose anything in Bombay. That's the first thing I'll say. Don't lose anything in Bombay. Yeah. So, look, I think one thing that has helped me is I've been extremely vulnerable right through. What do I mean by vulnerable is that if I did not know something, I was very honest in telling people that I do not know it. The second thing that helped me is connected to vulnerability, of course. If you fly any Indigo plane, you'll find on the cockpit door one small round and a message on that. It says, leave your worries outside, flying is serious business. If you're getting into HR, leave your ego outside, HR is serious business, right? So I've always been very open to taking criticism. Okay, criticism is my a favorite garden. If anybody criticizes, I take it very happily. And the other thing is that I've seen a lot of people in HR in general taking things personally. In an organization, don't take anything personally, right? If you start taking things personally, it will start affecting your psyche. If it starts affecting your psyche, you go into a negative spiral. For this, I have a saying that I've made, okay? Remember this. For every one person who thinks that you're fantastic, there'll be 3 people who think that you cannot walk this earth. You cannot change people's perceptions.
Yeah.
And they say, a guy who walks slower than you is an idiot. A guy who walks faster than you is a maniac. So people think in many ways. We should not be getting affected with all of that. So these are a few things that help me succeed. And more importantly, if you work in another city away from your home, I would strongly recommend everybody to work outside their work homes in a completely new place which pushes your boundaries. That makes you survive and that helps you in the job too.
Coming out of your comfort zone is
Get out of the comfort zone, do something. Coming out of the comfort zone, everybody does. But when you actually go to a new city, start surviving there, start thriving, fall down, get up. When that Bombay thing happened to me, people said, "Look at him now. He's going to come back. He's a small town boy who's gone from Vizag." The moment that I heard that, I said, "I'll show you. Come on, let's continue our journey here." Yeah.
Thank you, sir. For your words of wisdom. I think that concludes our journey here today. But
Fantastic.
It will continue tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Looking forward to your words of wisdom.
Why not? Why not?